All Star Talk, your weekly your weekly talk show where we discuss things about All Star Wrestling and get to interview its roster members. I know we did cancel last week due to no one unfortunately being able to make it, but we do have at least a few people who will at least a couple people who will be able to speak with if but and we also have a big announcement to be made that I will be doing at the end of this is so please stay tuned for All Star our talks big announcement to be made as this is very something that everyone wants to hear here. But we're gonna start things off by we'll be bringing in someone who's gonna be making a debut today, a Seawolf. Please yep, I'll make your mic.
Yeah, what is going on?
Hello, Seawolf. Thank you for joining us here on All Star Talk.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
And now we know you're finally making your debut here tonight, and management, Turbo himself, the general manager, has decided that he was going to put you in tonight's Fatal 4-Way to decide the last man who will contend, who will qualify for the new television championship.
All right.
How do you feel that this is how you're starting off?
I feel like it's kind of a weird but kind of special way how, because usually how I start things off is usually I usually have one-on-one matches and then work to it, but I'm pretty sure this one will be a good fatal four way. I'm pretty sure. I hope I will come through with it.
Well, do you have any no, I mean you've seen who you'll be going in with. You're going to get some pretty tough opponents in this match from a member of Alpha with Alex Wolf. You also be dealing with the humongous, the behemoth himself, Michael Carter, and then we have Tiny Boy, who has shown many times again that he's very tough to deal with and doesn't give up. Do you have a plan for this?
Honestly, if the people who watch me go through Instagram companies, I've gone through pain before. I've been tossed off Hell in a Cell. I've been tossed through the walls of Hell in a Cell. So I'm pretty sure I can go blow for blow for some of the best.
Uh, well, confidence is definitely good. Good, I'm good, and I can't wait to see what you do to show off what you have to show for here in ASW. And if
I
you
appreciate
win,
it.
I wish you good luck as you go to try and get the television title. Do you have any last words?
Um, honestly, I want to say good luck to all the competitors tonight and everything, and enjoy the show, people.
Alright, well, you heard it from Seawolf. He seems to be very confident in his abilities. He's easy when going into this Fatal 4-Way. But speaking of, we brought up Michael Carter earlier, but let's bring in Brandon Ace as he will be competing in a tag team match later tonight, as well as we'll see his partner compete twice tonight in the Fatal 4-Way in that for the qualifier. So Brandon Ace, if you can.
Yes.
Hello, Brendan. It's great for you to have you here on All Star Talk as always, and you're no stranger to nights night like this where you will be in a tag team match with your partner, but then your partner will go off into a singles match on the same night. Very familiar of Ragnarok. Now, are you worried that history is going to repeat itself and you guys are going to both you're going to get double losses, the tag team match and the singles match?
No, I don't see that because there's no excuses this time. We either gotta rebound or well, either rebound or just shut up. That's all there is to it.
That is right. Now of course you know who you're going up against, DIFH. Now they're pretty hot right now. They didn't have the best start or when the new season started, but after they showed what they could do in tag team wrestling against SCV by defeating them once again, and what was an amazing back and forth tag match ending by submission. Both members of DIFH, both very technical, striking oriented, and well, they know how to break an opponent down to get that tap out victory. How do you and your partner plan on doing this? And with that being said, I mean, your partner has to go through a match where, like I said, with how I just said, with those two kind of guys, how is he mentally with going against opponents like that when he knows he has another grueling match in that elimination fatal four way?
We're very familiar with what the FIFH has done. We face them in other companies. They beat us, we beat them. So we know their strengths and weaknesses, and we can counteract their striking with a little bit of our striking and technical prowess of our own.
Now I do have one last question. Now I do have, I think, two more questions for you actually. I mean, if the Baltimore Finest loses tonight, where do you all go?
Hold up, wait. Before you said that we're not called Baltimore's finest anymore, that is dead and buried. We call ourselves the Charm City Kings. Get it right, please.
Repeat
Swear.
that.
We are called the Charm City Kings.
The
Like,
char.
I hate repeating Charm City Kings. Do I need to repeat myself every time?
All
Get it right.
right, all right. My bad. My notes are out of date. Hey, all right. The Charm City Kings. Where do you guys go from if you guys can't pick up the victory?
Hey, the truth, we don't know, but we're not going to make it excuses if we lose. We just got to move on and find a way to get back on the winning track in the tag team rankings in All
Oh,
Stars.
all right. Well, I guess really the only last thing I can say is I guess we can bring up Amber Young, your protege. She's still holding the tag team titles, holding it for, I believe it's been 60. We've seen her hold those titles. With two defenses under her belt for 73 days. We recently just been told that she finally has a new partner. She'll be tag teaming with the woman who previously still had an opportunity for the title, Eva Cyanide. They have decided to come together as a tag team known as Genesis. How do you feel about this?
Oh, I'm happy for her. Like she's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions. Like I can't tell her what she can or cannot do. But I'm happy she found a partner. About damn time. I don't want her to defend the titles by herself.
All right, now, of course, we'll be seeing her later tonight in a fatal four-way match, but this not really for any opportunity, more just to showcase our women of this roster. Now, the last
Yeah,
time we
no.
did see Amber, she definitely showed maybe a new side of her by getting a very, in my opinion, one of the quicker wins of we've seen in ASW, at least for this season, where she tapped out her opponent in pretty quick fashion. Do you think maybe the loss of her previous partner and the thought that maybe she would have to give up the titles or even have to defend it by herself, maybe put a, like a new something new into her?
Yeah, it's a. I say yes and no. Amber has always been confident in her abilities. Like she is one of the most deadliest strikers on the roster. Her kicks, knees, punches. Like she has an MMA background. It's not a surprise that she was gonna able to tap someone out because that's her strength.
You know, well, I definitely it'll be interesting to see what she has to do, what she can do here, when it comes time to it for that match. And once again, I wish you luck in your tag team match as well as I wish your partner Michael Carter luck as he has to prepare for two matches tonight. Once again, he's in a situation where he has to help you in a tag team match, but also has to go off in a singles match where he has another opportunity for a title.
That's true. And thank you
So
for the good luck.
I wish you luck, and I'll let you go off so you can prepare for your matches.
No problem.
All right, and with that, we actually have one more person we would like to bring up. I would like to bring up our new general manager for the men's division, Turbo.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, Turbo. It's great to be able to hear from you here on All Star Talk for the first time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Glad I could make it this time.
Yes. Now I got a few questions. I want to first start off. I mean, since you've came into All Star, are along you along with Jada Storm, you both have very much changed the landscape of All Star wrestling. What I want to start. What do you think of the division of the men and the men who you help book and help them do what they need to do?
I'm very, very proud of the roster. Um, my main thing is getting these new guys in, giving them an opportunity and seeing what they can do.
Yes, and we
Um,
very much been able to see that with you with these qualifiers you've been doing with the All-Star title. You've been kind of mixing up, putting people who have been here in All-Star for a little while, as well as putting people who haven't even had a match before. It's been a very interesting strategy.
yes, it is, and I'm hoping to find those diamonds in the rough, and hopefully they can lead our league to greatness. You never know. You
Oh,
know, we do got some big names coming in, so it's gonna be quite a challenge.
Oh, definitely with the recent debut of Sven, and who had what my opinion was one of the best matches I think I've ever seen here in All Star Wrestling, and could have been one of the longest. Those two just did not want to give up. Him and Leo Punk, who we just found out, unfortunately, his partner did leave, so the core is no longer a tag team here in All Star Wrestling. It is just Leo Punk by himself. Oh, but I gotta say that there might be no worry for him because he seems to have everything down when it comes to single competition.
Yes, I have um, high expectations for Leo Punk. There's something about his character that I really like, and hopefully he can get them wins in, and hopefully go for a title sometime in the future.
Yes. Now, I mean, I like to maybe just get to a real quick talk about what's going down tonight. I mean, we already know we have what could be another huge debut with Kyle Young, as he's going to get an opportunity to be in the same match as his partner, where he will get an opportunity to go for that television title, but he has no clue who he's going up against. But so that would definitely be interesting to see. Any words on maybe who is debuting? Or that's still staying a secret for the people?
Uh, I think it should stay a mystery. It is a big name in our EFED community. His name grows pretty fast. I think it'll be quite a shock of who his opponent's going to be. I feel like Cal Young has a chance. It's going to be a good match. Um,
Uh,
I'm very, very, very excited for that match. Probably one of my more favorite matches on the card this time.
well, I definitely can't wait to see it myself. We also, of course, you set up a tag team match. I mean, with the former champions who unfortunately lost their rematch going up against DIFH, who really came around after two straight losses since the new season and able to pick up a big victory over SCV, who's been doing well singles, but they're seeming to have a little trouble with finding their spot in the tag team division. But I mean, if DIFAs could win tonight, even if there's only their second win, do you think that would put them in the game for a tag team title shot?
Definitely, and that's really one of the more reasons that match is there. I mean, we are coming up on the pay-per-view, and we do want those tag belts on the line, and
Uh,
so we can see how great our tag team champs are. Um, hopefully, we can find that out tonight and see where we'll go with the tag division at the pay-per-view.
Definitely. Um, Now, next I would like to bring up the openweight champion. I think that a lot of interesting things been going backstage. There's this new signee who has showed up, and he's seemed to going back and forth or with the openweight champion, and now where it's lead, he's gonna have a match with him. Uh, and if he wins, he gets a future title shot. And I do believe we also have Premier Purdy here, so I'm sure he'll want to put his 2 cents into this. But Turbo, I would like to start with you. Why was this match made, and why was this guy given an opportunity like this?
It's been a lot of backstage heat in the back. We've had security guards get beat up. We've had my door get knocked on numerous times by his manager. Um, Contracts even been signed. That was brought to me by the champ. Um, a lot's been going on, and we gotta get to the bottom of this. We would love to give him a title shot, but at this time, I mean, he's new to the company, you
Hmm.
know, so he has to prove himself.
Right.
Uh, he has his hands full. Talks a lot, but let's be honest, he has his hands full. Brent has been a fighting champion, one of our great champions here in ASW. I mean, it's even debatable to say that this belt is the most relevant belt here at ASW. It's very surprising. So this match is it's going to be quite interesting.
It's very interesting to hear that, especially after what happened last week with Premier Pretty losing to Dylan Travis, the All-Star Wrestling champion. But real quick before we get more into that, Premier Pretty, are you here?
Yes, I am here. Let me. Okay, pretty much like this. I'm gonna say it like this, and make this go around. I have to get ready for my match, prepare. I'm a businessman, and I went to Turbo's office with a business proposal because I smell money. When I smell money, I want to make that golden. So by me signing my name on this dotted line to get this new competitor opportunity in my championship title, that was golden for me because that's money for me. And having money is the best thing that you can have here in this community, in this business, in this industry. Without money, what do you have? Nothing. So therefore, if I have to sit here and tangle with this guy to give him a shot, by all means I will. Because that means right there that I am the better man and the better superior superstar wrestler. So
Uh,
that's why I decided to do that, if you want to be completely honest. So basically, what's going to happen is this is going to be a dogfight. I'm going to go down that ring, do what I do best, and shock the world because, see, I am learning as I go that I'm doing this for the fans, not for myself. See, it used to be all about me, but now I'm doing it for the fans because without the fans, there would be no Premier Pretty. Without these checks that the management is giving me, there would not be no Premier Pretty. So I'm just going to walk down that ramp and do what I do best, entertain these fans because, see, without these fans, there will not be me. I'm here for my fans. I'm here for the world to see me perform on the biggest stage of them all. And that's what
very
it's all about.
Very interesting to see. Now, this is definitely going to be a challenge for you because, I mean, unlike in the past with your past matches and past defenses, even with someone like one of your probably hardest ones, like with Six Machiavelli, you always seem to have someone who's somewhat close to your size and stature as well, and even close to your maybe even style of fighting. But this time, you're fighting someone who's bigger than you, taller than you, heavier than you, and who has a complete different style. He's all about power and beating down his opponents. So I mean, how do you plan on even dealing with someone like this?
You know what? There's an old saying, brains over bronze, right? So I'm going to use my brains over his bronze. You can be big as shit and you can still get laid out at the end of the day. So he can sit there and use all those muscles he got and all that steroids that he's taking. At the end of the day, I'm going to out wrestle him, I'm going to outsmart him, and I'm going to come out on top. So, like I said before, sometimes you just got to be outsmarter than your opponent that you're wrestling. Because at the end of the day, it's about putting on a show for these fans. So whether I lose or win, I'm still going to come on top. So I want you to sit back and enjoy this show because it's going to be a good match, a good match. And
I
like I
def
said before, he's going to have to do whatever it takes to beat me because I'm not going down without the fight. Any further
Definitely.
questions?
One last thing before I bring Turbo back on. We saw you got the match that you said what you had to say on our last All-Star talk to the All-Star champion. The All-Star champion kind of seemed to wanted to try and just blow you to the side. Didn't really see you as someone he wanted to deal. Didn't really feel like you was someone he needed to deal with. And management decided to give you what you wanted. You got the match. How do you feel that you weren't able to come out on top to prove that you were better than Dylan Travis?
The simple fact that I didn't come on top, hey, that's cool. It happens. That's what this is all about. You win some, you lose some. But sooner or later, he's gonna fall, and he's gonna fall by my hands. Sooner or later, he's gonna see me in the back, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of him and put him in an ambulance. Sooner or later, his day will come when we will meet again. And this time, when we meet again, the outcome will be different. He'll be laying flat on his ass, and I'll be standing over him holding his title as Premier Double Champ. That's right, Premier Double Champ.
Very interesting. Well, I wish you luck in that goal, and I wish you luck in your match tonight. We're going to be bringing back Turbo. Thank you, Openweight Champion Premier Pretty.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Turbo, what did you have to think about what Premier Pretty had to say?
I like the confidence. I feel like he does have, I mean, the right to be cocky. I mean, what can we say? Um, my only thing is that cockiness has to get backed up. From what I hear, Andre's a big guy. Uh, I feel like he's talking noise for a reason. We haven't seen him bag it up yet, but I feel like he's gonna give him a run for his money. But
Uh,
I mean, back that cockiness up, get this win, move on into the pay per view. Hopefully, possibly defend his title at the pay per view,
uh,
overcome that, and prove that he is what he said he is.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting. Now, once again, we already kind of speaked on the fact, your idea of, with how things are going with the qualifications for the television title, and we're at the final qualifier. We have a final qualifier at the co-main event, as we will be seeing Alex Wolf, the leader of Alpha, Michael Carter, who's already going to have to go through one tough match and a tag team match before that, and the debuting Seawolf, who we heard from before, and the Tiny Boy. Now, I want to first start with Seawolf. I mean, I don't know if you had the ability to hear what he had to say, but he did show confidence and that he felt that he had the ability, the fortitude to get through this match. What made you want to put Seawolf into this match?
I mean, opportunity.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a couple people that names been quiet. Um, whether it's because they're new, whether because they haven't had that many matches, whether because they're in a tag team that's not doing it good at the time. I need to see where your strength's at.
Right.
And this match right here is going to prove it. I mean, this is a pretty big match.
Definitely. Now, speaking of, now we use the word big, but I think we should use the reverse word and talk about Tiny Boy himself, Joshua Utaker. Uh, I mean, last time we saw Tiny, he confronted the All Star champion backstage on our last week's show, and it looked like he got into his face, but Dylan Travis was the one who made it physical. After Tiny Boy pushed him, he came at him with a lariat, and surprisingly Tiny Boy was the one who put Dylan on his back before they ended up getting broken up. Dylan Travis said that even though people tried to came up to him saying, "How could you let this little guy knock you out?" He refuses to admit that that was the case. Is because of that situation the reason why Tiny is in this match?
Um, that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is like I said, I'm a big on opportunity. And I seen that, and I feel like I'm saying this now. I've never said this. I feel like Tiny Boy may be one of the most underrated wrestlers here in ASW. And all I need from him is to prove that theory for me. Win this match, and let's see where it goes from there.
Well, we definitely know Tiny Boy. He's definitely got we've seen him go the distance. We saw his match. We saw his match with Crypto. Those two went back and forth in what was one of the best matches around. And he could have maybe even put away Crypto, but it just maybe was just one step off from getting that victory. I mean, if he could do that, he definitely maybe could. If he's definitely lucky enough, he could definitely walk out of this match with especially with someone like Michael Carter in there. Let's just hope that he, maybe can stay away from him long enough to maybe get the victory.
Correct. I agree with you on that.
Definitely going to be an interesting night here. Uh, before I think we get into the main thing I wanted to talk about, is there any final words you wanted to give about any of the roster members or anything involving championships or just any news you would like to put out?
Um, at this time, no. Well, there's one thing that we are talking about bringing a couple more people in. I think it's gonna make the roster exciting. I'm not gonna discuss those names, but there are some pretty big names, and possibly another belt. Depending on how big our roster gets, and just want to let everybody know there are some big things in talks. Another show's been in talks. You never know. So stay on your toes and keep proving who you are so you can get that push.
Uh, All right. Well, you heard it from him, from the GM himself. Before you go, I would like for you to be here as we announce the big announcement that I said at the top of the show that we were going to announce. So it has been made official by management, and that on this month of March, we will be seeing on the 29th the next All Star Wrestling pay per view, and that pay per view is called All Star Wrestling Presents Crossroads. And this new pay per view is definitely going to be something that we really have never seen before like that. As on this pay per view, you choose the direction that these wrestlers are going to be going when it comes to their matches because there will be polls made for the matches that get booked where you can decide what the stipulations will be. You
Mhm.
choose the face of these wrestlers, so you can choose whether these guys go into normal matches, into Extreme Rules matches. Who knows what kind of? Who knows? Hell, if heck, Turbo could decide to put on there that you all can vote for the Ragnarok match and see that match again. And it is all up to you what matches are going to be selected and what we will see at the pay per view. Of course, those opinions will be announced and shown on the day of the pay per view. So it definitely will be something interesting to see. Turbo, you have any last minute words to say about this big announcement?
It is going to be awesome. I'm very excited. Um, all I got to say is train, train, train. Be ready. You don't know what kind of match you're going to end up in. Ladder match, elimination chamber. I mean, hell in the cell. I mean, you never know. It's going to be a wonderful night.
That is definitely true. Oh, you heard it from on the man himself. Oh, so you all better be ready because this month, the 29th, we hit the road, we hit the crossroads. See you all, and now we're gonna end it here and move on to the 30th episode of All Star Wrestling.